The pill you take every morning to protect your heart may be the exact thing starving your legs of blood flow right now. You notice it most at night. You are lying in bed and your feet are cold, not the kind of cold that a blanket fixes. A deep, bone-level cold that feels like your feet belong to someone else. You pull the covers tighter. You wear the thicker socks. You tuck a heating pad against your ankles. And nothing changes. The cold stays. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a thought you do not want to think pushes its way forward. Something is wrong down there. Maybe it is not the cold that scares you most. Maybe it is the color. You have noticed your toes look different, pale or slightly purple, or mottled in a way they never were before. Maybe it is the cramping, that vice grip in your calves when you walk to the mailbox, the one that forces you to stop and pretend you are admiring the neighbor's lawn while you wait for the pain to pass. Or maybe it is the swelling. Your ankles puffing up by late afternoon until your shoes feel like they belong to someone a size larger. You mentioned it to your doctor. You described the cold feet, the cramping, the heaviness, and your doctor looked at your chart, not at your legs, and said, "That's pretty common at your age. Keep your feet elevated." Common at your age. That phrase should make every senior in this country furious, because it is not a diagnosis. It is a dismissal. It is a doctor telling you that your legs do not matter enough to investigate. And after 24 years in vascular surgery, after spending my career inside the very arteries and veins that feed your legs, I can tell you that what you are feeling is not normal aging. It is not inevitable, and in most cases, it is not even complicated to improve. But what if I told you that the reason your circulation is failing has almost nothing to do with cholesterol, almost nothing to do with exercise, and everything to do with a single molecule your body stopped producing in sufficient quantities the day you turned 50? And what if one drink, one specific combination that takes 3 minutes to make, could flood your body with that molecule and begin restoring blood flow to your legs and feet within 24 hours? By the end of this video, you will know exactly what that molecule is, why your body lost it, and the precise recipe, every ingredient, every measurement, every detail, to make the drink that gets it back. I am Dr. Catherine, and this is the video I wish someone had made for my own father before it was too late. Drop a comment right now with just your age, nothing else. I want to see who is watching this. Let me tell you what is actually happening inside your legs right now, because this is where the medical system has failed you completely. Every artery in your body is lined with a single layer of cells called the endothelium. Think of the endothelium like the non-stick coating on a frying pan. When the coating is intact, everything flows smoothly. Blood glides through without friction. Nutrients reach the tissue. Oxygen arrives on time. But when that coating wears away, when the non-stick surface gets scratched and pitted and rough, everything sticks. Platelets cling, cholesterol deposits, inflammation builds, and the opening of the artery narrows. Not suddenly, gradually, millimeter by millimeter, year by year, until one day you notice your feet are cold and your calves are cramping and your doctor tells you it is just your age. Now here is the part that should change everything you think about circulation. That endothelial lining, that non-stick coating, is maintained by one molecule, nitric oxide. Your body produces nitric oxide inside the endothelium itself. It is the master regulator of blood vessel function. Nitric oxide tells your arteries to relax and widen. It tells your blood to flow freely without clotting. It tells oxygen to release into tissue. Without nitric oxide, your arteries constrict, your blood thickens, and your legs slowly starve. Here is where the science gets genuinely interesting. A landmark study published in the journal Circulation in 2007 measured nitric oxide production across age groups and found that adults over 60 produce 50% less nitric oxide than adults in their 20s. 50%. Half of your body's ability to keep blood flowing to your extremities is gone. And nobody told you. Nobody tested you. Nobody said, "We need to address your nitric oxide levels before your legs pay the price." They just waited until you complained about cold feet and then told you to elevate them. I want to tell you about Clarence. Clarence, 74, a retired bus driver who spent 36 years behind the wheel and prided himself on never missing a shift. When Clarence came to me, he could not walk 2 blocks without stopping. His calves would seize. His feet were so cold at night that his wife had moved to a separate bed because, as she said, touching his feet was like touching a bag of ice. His ankles were swollen by noon every day. He had been to 3 different doctors. One told him it was aging. One told him it was weight. One put him on a blood thinner and sent him home. Clarence sat in my office, looking visibly defeated. He gripped the armrests of the chair like a man holding onto the last of something. "Dr. Catherine," he said, "I drove a city bus through Chicago winters for 36 years. My legs never let me down. Now I can't walk to the corner store. I feel like my body has given up on me." His body had not given up. His body was missing the one molecule it needed to keep blood flowing, and nobody had thought to look for it. But wait, it gets darker. Because the nitric oxide problem is not just about aging. It is about what happens when the system that produces nitric oxide gets attacked from multiple directions at the same time. Your endothelium does not just wear out passively, it is actively destroyed by three forces: oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, and high blood sugar. Every time you eat a meal that spikes your blood sugar, free radicals tear into your endothelial lining. Think of it like sandpaper being dragged across the inside of a garden hose. Each pass removes a little more of the smooth surface. Each pass makes the next pass more damaging. And the medications that millions of seniors take daily, statins, proton pump inhibitors, certain blood pressure drugs, can deplete the very cofactors that your body uses to manufacture nitric oxide. CoQ10, magnesium, folate. The system is being starved from the inside while being attacked from the outside, and the result is what you feel every night when you lie in bed and your feet feel like they belong to a corpse. Drop your country in the comments right now. I read every single one. Circulation problems affect seniors everywhere, and I want to see where this community is watching from. Now let me show you the drink. Because here is what 20 years of vascular research has confirmed. You can directly supply your body with the raw materials to produce nitric oxide, and you can do it with ingredients that are available in any grocery store, that cost almost nothing, and that begin working within hours, not weeks. The foundation of this drink is beetroot juice. Raw, fresh beetroot juice. And I need to explain exactly why, because this is not a superfood trend. This is biochemistry. Beetroot contains the highest concentration of dietary nitrates of any common vegetable. When you drink beetroot juice, those nitrates are absorbed in your small intestine, travel to your bloodstream, and are converted by bacteria on the surface of your tongue, yes, your tongue, into nitrites, which your body then converts into nitric oxide. It is an elegant biological recycling system that bypasses the aging endothelium entirely. Your damaged blood vessel lining cannot make enough nitric oxide on its own anymore. Beetroot gives your body a second factory. A study published in the journal Hypertension in 2015 gave adults over 250 milliliters of beetroot juice daily, roughly 1 cup, for 4 weeks. The result was a 20% improvement in endothelial function and a measurable increase in blood flow velocity to the lower extremities. 20%. In 4 weeks. From 1 cup a day. This next one surprises almost everyone. The second ingredient is raw ginger root, not the powdered kind. Fresh, raw ginger, about 1 inch of root, peeled and grated. Ginger contains a compound called gingerol that does 2 things nitric oxide alone cannot. First, it thins the blood naturally by reducing platelet aggregation, the tendency of blood cells to clump together and slow flow. Think of it like the difference between pouring honey through a funnel and pouring water. Gingerol turns your blood from honey toward water. Second, gingerol is a potent anti-inflammatory that calms the very inflammation attacking your endothelium. A 2019 study in the journal Phytomedicine found that daily ginger supplementation reduced markers of vascular inflammation by 28% in adults over 60 and improved peripheral blood flow measurements by 16% over 8 weeks. Pay very close attention here. This is where most people go wrong. The third ingredient is what makes the first 2 work dramatically better. Half a lemon, freshly squeezed. The vitamin C in lemon juice is not just an antioxidant, it is a direct cofactor in nitric oxide synthesis. Without adequate vitamin C, the enzyme that converts nitrates into nitric oxide, endothelial nitric oxide synthase, malfunctions. It begins producing superoxide instead of nitric oxide. Superoxide is a free radical that destroys the very endothelium you are trying to protect. Think of it like a factory machine that builds cars when properly maintained, but starts throwing sparks and starting fires when a critical part is missing. Vitamin C is that critical part. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2014 found that vitamin C supplementation restored nitric oxide bioavailability by 37% in adults with impaired endothelial function. The lemon juice ensures that the nitric oxide your body produces from the beetroot actually reaches your arteries intact instead of being destroyed before it arrives. Here is where hope enters this story. The fourth ingredient is a half teaspoon of raw cayenne pepper. I know. The thought of cayenne in a drink makes some people wince. But before you skip this, listen to what it does. Cayenne contains capsaicin, and capsaicin triggers the release of a neuropeptide called CGRP, calcitonin gene-related peptide, which is one of the most powerful natural vasodilators your body produces. Vasodilator means it physically opens your blood vessels wider. Capsaicin does not just improve circulation in theory, you can feel it. Within 20 minutes of consuming cayenne, your skin warms, your extremities flush, and your blood pressure drops slightly as your peripheral vessels relax and widen. A 2015 study in the journal Cell Metabolism confirmed that capsaicin activates TRPV1 receptors in the vascular endothelium, directly triggering nitric oxide release and improving peripheral blood flow by 14% in a single dose. Start with a quarter teaspoon if you are sensitive. Build up to a half teaspoon over a week. Your body adapts quickly. If you have made it this far, type circulation in the comments below. It tells me this information is reaching people who actually need it, and it helps YouTube share this with more seniors who are watching their legs fail. Now let me give you the exact recipe. 1 cup, 250 milliliters of fresh beetroot juice. If you cannot juice raw beets, buy pure beetroot juice with no added sugar and no additives. Grate 1 inch of fresh ginger root into the juice. Squeeze half a lemon directly into the cup. Add a half teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Stir vigorously. Drink it 30 minutes before your first meal of the day, on an empty stomach, because nitrate absorption is highest when your gut is not competing with other foods. Drink it every morning, consistently. The beetroot provides the nitrate raw material. The ginger thins the blood and calms inflammation. The lemon protects the nitric oxide from being destroyed. The cayenne opens the blood vessels to receive it. 4 ingredients, 1 glass, 3 minutes to make, and a body that has been waiting for exactly this combination. Let me tell you about Vivian. Vivian, 69, a retired florist who spent 40 years on her feet arranging flowers, climbing ladders to hang displays, carrying buckets of water across her shop floor. When Vivian came to me, her legs were a mottled purple from the knees down. Her feet were so swollen she had bought 3 different shoe sizes over the past year. She had not worn sandals in 2 summers because she was ashamed of how her feet looked. She had stopped attending her granddaughter's soccer matches because she could not walk across the field to the bleachers without her calves seizing. She was visibly defeated. "Dr. Catherine," she told me, and her voice cracked when she said it, "I used to carry 50-pound bags of soil across my shop without thinking. Now I cannot carry my own groceries from the car. My legs feel like they belong to someone 30 years older." We put Vivian on this exact protocol. 1 cup of the beetroot ginger lemon cayenne drink every morning on an empty stomach. We added 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate at night to support vascular relaxation and 4,000 IU of vitamin D3 with dinner to support endothelial repair. And we added a 10-minute walk after each meal, not for exercise, but for circulation. Movement after eating drives blood into the peripheral vasculature and lowers the post-meal blood sugar spikes that damage the endothelium. 8 weeks later, Vivian came back. The mottling on her legs had faded from dark purple to light pink. Her ankle swelling had reduced by what she estimated was about half. She had walked across the soccer field to the bleachers the previous Saturday, and she was wearing sandals for the first time in 2 years. She held my hand and said, "I felt the grass under my feet. I could actually feel it. I had forgotten what that was like." That is not a miracle. That is a blood vessel lining that received the raw materials it needed and began doing the job it was always designed to do. It is not too late. Your arteries are not dead. Your endothelium is not gone. It is damaged, it is depleted, and it is waiting for the molecular signal to start repairing itself. Nitric oxide is that signal, and the drink you now know how to make delivers it directly, every single morning, starting tomorrow. Your body has not given up on your legs. The system just ran out of supplies. Now you know exactly how to restock them. Here is what I need you to do right now. Think of one person, Your spouse, your brother, your best friend, your neighbor, someone who has complained about cold feet, swollen ankles, leg cramps, or pain when walking. Send them this video right now. Not tomorrow, not later. Right now. That single act might be the most important thing you do for someone you love today. If you have not subscribed yet, hit that button now. My mission is bringing you research-backed health information that is accessible, practical, and genuinely life-changing. That is what every video on this channel is designed to do. In my next video, I am covering the 3 nighttime habits that silently destroy your blood vessels while you sleep, and I guarantee you are doing at least one of them tonight. You will want to see that. I am Dr. Catherine, and your health is the only metric that matters. I will see you in the next consultation.